Greetings for the day, students. Today I will take a topic of MSc Final Paper 6 and the topic is structure of proteins. Proteins की संरचना. The name protein, it has been derived from the word proteose, which means preeminent or the first, and this name was suggested in 1838 by Swedish chemist Berzelius to a Dutch chemist Mulder, who referred it to the complex organic nitrogenous substances found in the cells of living beings. They are most abundant intracellular macromolecules and constitute over half of the dry weight of most organisms. Proteins occupy a central position in the architecture and functioning of living matter. They are therefore essential to cell structure and cell function. The proteins with their catalytic activity are called enzymes and are largely responsible for determining the phenotype or properties of a cell in a particular environment. The total hereditary material of the cell or genotype dictates which type of protein the cell can produce. In fact, proteins have built into their structure the information that instructs them in what to do. That is what it defines the catalytic activity, where to go in the cell, that is intracellular organization, and when and how to perform control of the functions through bacterial interaction with other proteins, small activators or inhibitors. So now we come to the word amino acids. So first we will take their structure. Actually, all the proteins are macromolecules because of their very high molecular weights. These are the polymers, that is, chain-like molecules produced joining a number of small units, and these small units we call the amino acids or the monomers. The amino acids are therefore regarded as the building blocks of proteins. The general formula of an amino acid along with its space-filling model is presented in this diagram. So they have the general formula RCH NH2 COOH. So the CH carbon atom which is next to the amino group or the carboxylic group is called alpha carbon atom, and this is the space filling model. The second one is the space filling model. The large green sphere represents the R group in this formula. Now each amino acid is a nitrogenous compound and having both an acidic or the carboxylic group and a basic, that is amino group or NH2 group. R stands for the side chain that are different for each amino acid. R can be as simple as a hydrogen atom or a methyl group or more complex structure. The first carbon in the part of the carboxylic group. The second carbon to which is the attached amino group is called alpha carbon atom. As I have told you earlier, the alpha carbon of most amino acids is joined by covalent bonds to 4 different groups. As we can see here, the carbon atom which is adjacent to amino group is attached to 4 different groups or atoms, and we can see one example of L-amino acid. Thus, the alpha carbon in all the amino acids is asymmetric except in glycine where the alpha carbon is symmetric. Because of this asymmetry, the amino acids except glycine can exist in 2 optically active forms. Those having NH2 to the right side have the configuration D, that is capital D, which denotes their configuration, and are dextrorotatory, and those having NH2 group to the left side, they have the L configuration, capital L configuration, and they are levorotatory. However, the two amino acids, thermine 309 and isoleucine, have two asymmetric carbon atoms each, and thus each will have 2 to power n is equal to 2 to power 2, that is 4 optical isomers at pH 7.0. Both the carboxylic and the amino group are ionized at pH 7. So here is the structure of D amino acid, that is here D denotes the configuration, not their optical rotation, and L amino acid, these two are mirror images of each other, and that capital L denotes here the configuration, and the second one is levorotatory and the first one is dextrorotatory as far as their optical isomers are concerned. Now we come to the word peptides. The amino acid units are linked together through the carboxylic and the amino groups to produce the primary structure of the protein chain. The bond between two adjacent amino acids is a special type of amide bond in which the hydrogen atom of amino group is replaced by the R radical. Such substituted amide bonds are known as peptide bonds. As we can see in this diagram, here is a peptide amide bond, or this is of an unsubstituted amide, and on the right side we can see the peptide bond and N-substituted amide. So we can see in this diagram that the chain thus formed by linking together of many amino acids. Here we can see in the figure 9.8 the chain of linking together of many amino acids units is thus called peptide chain. What we are seeing here is a peptide chain, and in the diagram below the characteristic of the peptide bond is shown in this diagram. The peptide bond here is shown enclosed in the dashed box. Here CONH bond is the peptide bond which I have shown here in the dashed square. The four atoms, which four atoms? Carbon, oxygen, nitrogen and hydrogen of the peptide bond form a rigid planar unit. This thing is very, very important. There is no freedom of rotation about the carbon-nitrogen bond. On the contrary, the two single bonds which are shown here in this diagram by the two arrows on either side of the rigid peptide unit, they exhibit a high degree of rotational freedom. Now we come to the representation of the peptide chain. Now here, to fit the convention for representation of peptide structure in mind, it is helpful to integrate the moving of from left to right of a रेटल स्नेक. जैसे कि एक सर्प मूव करता है आगे की ओर, उस तरह से लहराता हुआ एक हमको इसका स्ट्रक्चर प्राप्त होता है. द सी टर्मिनल रेजिड्यू फॉर्म्स द फैंग्स. उसके जो नुकीले दांत होते हैं नाक के, वो क्या शो करता है? जो सी टर्मिनल है वो वाला टर्मिनल जिधर की कार्बोक्सिलिक ग्रुप जुड़ा हुआ है. एंड जो उसके जो कहना चाहिए कि उसकी जो टेल साइड है उधर एन टर्मिनल रेजिड्यू है किसका? इसका पेप्टाइड चेन का. ओके, नाउ we come to the next point, that is naming of the peptide chain. Here we are seeing two diagrams. In the naming of polypeptide, the convention is that N-terminal residue, which is shown at the left hand side part of this structure, is written first, and the C-terminal residue in the formation of each peptide is written to the right. So the formation of each peptide bond indicated by bold lines involves splitting of a molecule of water. When a peptide bond is formed, a molecule of water is eliminated. So this is all how we name the peptide chain. Now we come to the next point, that is, here I'll tell you about the something. In the next lecture, I'll tell you about the chemical bonds involved in the protein structure. So, till then, thank you very much. Have a nice day.